Ray comes on the other side of the wire. Same fence line running since my daddy's time prior. We'd meet up in the morning at the corner post. 2 cups of coffee and a farmer's boast. His corner gets my beans in a friendly bet. 40 years of mornings and we're at it yet. Fence line neighbors, doubts come same old post between. Best friendship any property line seen. Fence line neighbors, doubts coffee in the cold. Some things out here never getting old. They dove into Bray, helped me pull a calf out in the January freeze. Didn't ask a thing, just showed up through the trees. I helped him put the tin back on his barn roof. 2 neighbors and a ladder is the proof. His wife sends over pie at Christmas time. My wife sends preserves along the line. Fence line neighbors, doubts come same old post between. Best friendship any property line seen. Fence line neighbors, doubts coffee in the cold. Some things out here never getting old. Sacred fences make good neighbors, true, but it's the coffee at the corner that we do, not the fence that makes us who we are. Just 2 old men talking near and far. Fence line neighbors, doubts come same old post between. Fence line neighbors, doubts come same old post between. Fence line neighbors, doubts coffee in the cold. Some things out here never getting old. Cottonwood tree on the bend of Clover Creek. A rope tied to the highest branch we'd seek. Summer rules were simple. If I hold on tight, let go of her, the deep part and alright. Daddy'd watch from the bank with his old straw hat. Said I did the same thing and survived all that. Rope swing river reapies flying through the air, landing in the cool water without a care. Rope swing river best of summer days, growing up in the finest kind of ways. When Tommy went the highest anybody's seen, swung out past the Sandberry, somewhere in between. Splash he made went halfway up the bank. Everybody cheered and he just sank, then bobbed up laughing in the afternoon. Best entertainment underneath the moon. Rope swing river reapers flying through the air, landing in the cool water without a care. Rope swing river best the summer days, growing up in the finest kind of ways. That old cottonwood came down in the flood of 90 dust sill, but the stories of that rope swing never dissipate. Every summer we put up a new one just the same. The creek keeps running and we keep the game. Rope swing river reapers flying through the air, landing in the cool water without a care. Rope swing river best of summer days, growing up in the finest kind of ways. Corn stalks bundled in the autumn field, standing tall. Kids built kingdoms in the fodder stack last fall. Hide and seek in the corridors of gold. Best playground in the county, old and cold. The cattle watching from across the fence with eyes, waiting patiently on their October prize. We rule that fodder kingdom till the supper bell. their kingdom in it bragging low. In the well Fodder Stack Afternoon, I flies golden brown and dry, rustling in the wind beneath the October sky. Fodder Stack Afternoon, I flies kings and queens inside. Every child a champion in the countryside. My sister built a throne room in the middle stack, put a corn husk crown upon her head, in fact. Said she was the queen of all this county land. I was her appointed knight with corn cob hand. We ruled that fodder kingdom till the supper bell. Then the cattle got their kingdom, and it will. We ruled that fodder kingdom till the supper bell. Then the cattle got their kingdom in a bragging low. And it well Fodder Stack Afternoon, I fights golden brown and dry, rustling in the wind beneath the October sky. Fodder Stack Afternoon, I fights kings and queens inside. Every child a champion in the countryside. Simple pleasures made from what the farm provides. No batteries required out on these countryside rides. A cornstalk's castle is a palace just the same when imagination's running on the game. We rule that fodder kingdom till the supper bell. Then the cattle got their kingdom in it bragging low. And then well Fodder Stack Afternoon, I fights golden brown and dry, rustling in the wind beneath the October sky. Fodder Stack Afternoon, I fights kings and queens inside. Every child a champion in the countryside. Wagon pilot high with ears of golden corn, neighbors showing up since early in the morn. Sitting in a circle on the barn floor wide, shucking to the fiddle, going strong inside. Find a red ear and you owe a kiss around. Old tradition, making the best Sioux sound, right old first of kin. Corn shucking night, read those eve, everybody in the ring. Hands are flying and the fiddle's on the string. Corn shucking night, read piles growing high. Community is what you can't buy. Old Earl found a red ear in the second round, kissed his wife and everybody hollered loud. Children doing their part in the smaller pile, making it again the whole rake while when the last ear's shucked and the floor is clear. Somebody brings the cider for the cheer. Corn shucking night, read those eve, everybody in the ring. Hands are plied and the fiddle's on the string. Corn shucking night, read piles growing high. Community is what you can buy. What could have been a long and lonesome chore became the thing that every neighbor's for. Turn the work to music and music into kin, and the harvest always gets its proper end. Corn shucking night, read those eve, everybody in the ring. Hands are flying and the fiddle's on the string. Corn shucking night, read piles growing high. Community is what you can buy. Dulcimer Evening, we gotta see. Dulcimer Evening, everybody ought to know. Dulcimer on the table after dark, 3 strings carrying the Appalachian spark. Mama learned it from a woman up the hollow side, said the mountain made this music, Chris's name's let it ride. The note is sliding on the melody, string low, even a sound that everybody ought to know. Dulcimer Evening, they grab a seat, a mountain music clear. three old strings saying everything you hear. Dulcimer Evening, nigger, receiver live. This is how the old ways learn to drive. She played the same songs that her grandmother played, passed down by the year before. They were notated fair and tender ladies in River Sea, Shady Grove and more. Every tune a doorway to a distant shore. I sat beside her learning chord by chord, best education anybody could afford. Dulcimer Evening, nigger, a seat, a mountain music clear. Three old strings saying everything you hear. Dulcimer Evening, nigger, receiving this dinner, but please fetch and tend alive. This is how they always learn to thrive. And they brought fiddles from the old country overseas, but the dulcimer grew right here among the trees. Mountain beat overseas at mountain cap, a sound of while the fiddle played just wept. Dulcimer Evening, nigger, a seat, a mountain music clear. Three old strings saying everything you hear. Dulcimer Evening, nigger, receiving this dinner, but please fetch and tend alive. This is how they always learn to thrive. Moon above a stubble field, everybody gathering for the harvest yield. Somebody brought a washboard, breeze for sun, somebody a jug, somebody's old guitar worn down to the lug, numb by a crackling in the crisp October air. Hootenanny going strong beyond compare. So harvest the moon, Hootenanny, reeve, everybody play whatever you can bring on this fine day. Harvest moon, Hootenanny, oh ring it out. That's what all this good living is about. Joe Crater Johnson brought his mandolin along. Deacon Smith Prudy still knows every song. The youngest kid was banging on a pot. Whatever made a noise went in the lot. Clara hummed the bass note underneath it all, and the music held the whole harvest ball. Harvest moon, Hootenanny, reeve, everybody play whatever you can bring on this fine day. Harvest moon, Hootenanny, oh ring it out. That's what all this good living is about. Don't need a stage and don't need a marquee sign. Don't need anything but moonlight and the time. When the harvest's done and the barns are full, the music fills the rest of every love. Harvest moon, Hootenanny, reeve, everybody play whatever you can bring on this fine day. Harvest moon, Hootenanny, oh ring it out. That's what all this good living is about. In the cast iron getting good and hot. Catfish in the cornmeal hitting the spot. Slaw already made in the big glass bowl. Hush puppies dropping in to fill the soul. The whole church parking lot smelling like the Lord. Friday night catfish's own reward. Catfish Fry Friday, ready bowls. Come on out and eat corn crust on every golden piece. Catfish Fry Friday, rib line up at the door. Nobody leaves here hungry, want more. Brother Eddie runs a fry like an arch. Says the catfish needs 4 minutes from the start. Deacon Brown is working on a second left plate. Somebody said he got there half hour early to wait. The kids are chasing lightning bugs out back, while the grown-ups work on seconds in the shack. Catfish Fry Friday, ready bowls. Come on out and eat corn crust on every golden piece. Catfish Fry Friday, rib line up at the door. Nobody leaves here hungry, wanting more. Every Friday through the summer months we fry the same. Good people underneath the same good sky. Fellowship and catfish nobbies can't separate the two. Loving your neighbor is what good people do. Catfish Fry Friday, ready bowls. Come on out and eat corn crust on every golden piece. Catfish Fry Friday, rib line up at the door. Nobody leaves here hungry, wanting more. Friday rib on play. Trucks polished bright with their sirens on slow. High school band marching down the main street below. A little league team waving from the flatbed ride. Every volunteer throwing candy from the side. The mayor in his convertible brought your hands, hand out and wave. This small town parade is what the founders gave. 4th of July parade, reef of your flag above the crowd. Everything this county's ever been is proud. 4th of July parade, read of us marching down the street. Small town USA is hard to beat. Grandma had a lawn chair at the corner spot. Said she claimed that corner when the weather's hot. Every single year since she was 17, best 4th of July that she had ever seen. My daughter on my shoulders waving her small flag, and pride and joy together in the same old bag. 4th of July parade, a blues and flag above the crowd. Everything this county's ever been is proud. 4th of July parade, a Riverbend flag above the crowd. Everything this county's ever been is proud. 4th of July parade, read of those marching down the street. Small town USA is hard to beat. Floats aren't fancy and the band's not perfect song, but everybody watching knows where they came from. This parade is us and always has been so crumb. The best thing in the summer, Hidden glow. 4th of July parade, read Bubbiott's flag above the crowd. Everything this county's ever been is proud. 4th of July parade, read of us marching down the street. Small town USA is hard to beat. Turning in the mountain creek below. Grist smell grinding corn from the long ago. Meal falling fine and warm into the bin. Same old turning since I don't know when. Old Miller Watt still runs it every fall. Says the stone Huckins flavor beats the modern on. Grist Mill Road, thou's follow it down to the wheel. Stone Ernie's morning in the country meal. Grist Mill Road, thou's follow water doing the work. Best cornmeal heaven this county ever had the perk. Bring your corn in on a Tuesday or Thursday, right? Pick it up brown, fine by the fading light, the bag still warm. Miller hands it out, the rest to a fire. The fresh hook is great, is all about his family's knew this water since 810. The creeks kept running and they've kept on then. Grist Mill Road, thou's follow it down to the wheel. Stone Ernie's morning in the country meal. Grist Mill Road, thou's follow water doing the work. Best cornmeal heaven this county ever had the perk. They talk about technology and speed, but a water wheel and stone is all you need to make a cornbread worthy of the table spread in a community that keeps its history fed. Grist Mill Road, thou's follow it down to the wheel. Stone Ernie's morning in the country meal. Grist Mill Road, thou's follow water doing the work. Best cornmeal heaven this county ever had the perk. Dirt lane running from the blacktop to the creek. Mockingbird up on the wire all week. He's got 40 songs and runs them back to back. Nobody told him there was anything he lacked. Named this lane for him before I laid the gravel down. Best musician for a mile outside of town. Mockingbird Lane, read face, he's singing in the oak. Every song a different kind of folk. Mockingbird Lane, read song, the music never ends. From the creek curve all the way around the bends. Broins to Fling Stream he's at, from the dark till afternoon. Says everything worth knowing to the moon. Mocking every robin, every varshy's wind J line. Every note he ever borrowed sounds just fine. My porch looks out across the lane to where he sits. The best free concert anybody ever gets. Mockingbird Lane, read face, he's singing in the oak. Every song a different kind of folk. Mockingbird Lane, read song, the music never ends. From the creek curve all the way around the bends. People ask me why I never brother moved to town. I pawned up to the wire and the singing crowd said, I've got a performer in my front yard tree. No cover charge, leaves no parking fee. Mockingbird Lane, read face, he's singing in the oak. Every song a different kind of folk. Mockingbird Lane, read song, the music never ends. From the creek curve all the way around the bends. Wide March congregation at the creekside bank. All the voices rising up in humble thanks. Preacher wading out to where the water's chest said this old creek has always done the rest. The faithful standing on the gravel shore, singing what their great Justice's parents sang before, singing creek baptism, highballs holy in the flow. Old creek water doing what we know, singing creek baptism high, raised up from the deep. This is the promise that the faithful keep. The local instincts of young Tommy Briggs went under in the spring, came up from the water with the choiring. His mama on the bank with tears of joy so bright said, my boy has stepped into the light. 3 more followed after in the afternoon, creek water catching all the light of June, singing creek baptism, highballs holy in the flow. Old creek water doing what we know, singing creek baptism high, raised up from the deep. This is the promise that the faithful keep. My grandparents were baptized in this same creek bed. The faith that held them holds their children's thread. The water doesn't know the years between, but it keeps on holy, procession everything, singing creek baptism, highballs holy in the flow. Old creek water doing what we know, singing creek baptism high, raised up from the deep. This is the promise that the faithful keep. Mama's biscuits in the oven since before the light, lard and flour and buttermilk done right. Pull them out and lay them on the cloth to cool. Golden brown and tall is mama's #1 rule. 2 gum syrup in the jar from old man Tiffin's mill. Butter soft enough to spread against your will. Syrup and butter biscuit vibe, morning's finest thing. Better than any restaurant could ever bring. Syrup and butter biscuit vibe, switch from the pan, built this family stronger than anything can. Daddy takes his oven with the syrup running through, soaks it up before the butter even knew. I like mine with just the butter on top first, then the syrup second for the sweetest burst. Grandma always said the blessing before each bite, said every biscuit morning is the Lord's delight. Syrup and butter biscuit vibe, morning's finest thing. Better than any restaurant could ever bring. Syrup and butter biscuit vibe, switch from the pan, built this family stronger than anything can. When I moved away, got my own address, the first thing that I baked was mama's best. Stood in my own kitchen and I cried a bit, not from sadness, but from how perfected breath. Syrup and butter biscuit vibe, morning's finest thing. Better than any restaurant could ever bring. Syrup and butter biscuit vibe, switch from the pan, built this family stronger than anything can. Square, converted to a market with the whole county there. Farmers with the tailgates open on the lot, selling everything the summer season's got. The train don't run through here since 64 town. Saturday the depot's doing just fine, but Saturday after bus market almost where everybody bringing what they grew with care. Depot town Saturday, our best day of the week. Community is everything we seek. About two still happening. Salma with her flowers starts in trays of 6. Mr. Dawson with his honey and his country fix. The Mennonite family with their bread and pie. Never had to advertise to sell it by. I always buy the same 3 things each week, then walk the whole market just to hear them speak. Saturday at Traverse Market on the square, everybody bringing what they grew with care. Depot Town Saturday, our best day of the week. Community is everything we seek. The path for where the passengers used to wait, our holds collard greens and something that is great. A different kind of commerce, but the same old soul. Community arriving and departing whole. Saturday at Traverse Market on the square, everybody bringing what they grew with care. Depot Town Saturday, our best day of the week. Community is everything we seek. Community is everything we seek. Late February, when the sap begins to run. Snow still on the ground, but yielding to the sun. Taps in the maple trees along the ridge. Buckets hanging by the bridge. The sugar shack is steaming in the cold clear air. 40 gallons of sap for 1 gallon there. Maple sugar cap reef, sweet smoke in the trees. Running sap and cold air, a morning freeze. Maple sugar Capri boiling through the night. Best gold this old hillside ever put to right. Spring Park kept the fire burning all night through. Said the sugar waits for no one, and it's true. The syrup darkens down from pale to amber deep. Patience is the only crop you have to keep. When it sheets the spoon just right, you pull it clear. The whole year's worth of sweetness finished here. Maple sugar cap reef, sweet smoke in the trees. Running sap and cold air and morning freeze. Maple sugar Capri boiling through the night. Best gold this old hillside ever put to right. Spring mud season comes right after sugaring ends. The land moves through its changes and its bends. But for these 2 sweet weeks between the cold and thaw, the maple gives the finest thing I ever saw. Maple sugar can't breathe, sweet smoke in the trees. Running sap and cold air and morning freeze. Maple sugar can't breathe, boiling through the night. Best gold this old hillside ever put to right. Hickory split stacked beside the smokehouse door. Same ritual, mild people ran a century before. The ham's been hanging since the first cold snap. Sugar cure and time refees, that's the whole map. The smoke rises slow through the cracks and caps. Every ham a story in the wooden saps. Smokehouse ritual arriving low and long and right. Hickory patience from the morning to the night. Smokehouse ritual arriving, about time is the ingredient. Nothing about this process is expedient. Though neighbor comes over every year, says he can smell it from his place from here. We open up the door and check the color slow. Deep mahogany means the smoke's got through below. Pull one down in January when the coldest harvest meat in the county from this old backyard. Smokehouse Ritual arriving low and long and right. Hickory patience from the morning to the night. Smokehouse Ritual arriving, about time is the ingredient. Nothing about this process is expedient. You cannot rush a ham and call it done. Can't speed the smoke or shortcut anyone. The fire decides how long this good thing takes. That's the lesson every smokehouse makes. Smokehouse Ritual arriving low and long and right. Hickory patience from the morning to the night. Whoa! Smokehouse Ritual arriving, about time is the ingredient. Nothing about this process is expedient. Wouldn't dash up and down all morning long. Grandma singing to herself a hymn like a song. Cream from yesterday's milking in the crock. Churning butter by the kitchen clock. She let me take a turn when I was 4 or 5. Said this is how the old ways stay alive. A hump you butter churn blues relapse working up and down. The richest golden butter in this town. Butter churn blues relapse that should never stop. Everything worth having starts from the top. No prince to finally breaks it, shifts in weight. Something changes in your arms and you just wait. She'd lift the lid and there would be in yellow round. The kind of satisfaction that is homebound. Salted on the board and press it in a mold in nothing store. Ring but never came close to this gold. A honk you butter churn blues relapse working up and down. Richest golden butter in this town. A butter churn blues relapse that should never stop. Everything worth having starts from the top. I've got an electric stand mixer on my shelf. Haven't used it once for this late cresting, will I do it myself? The dasher and the crock come out each week. For the kind of ordinary that I seek. A hunk you butter churn blues relapse working up and down. Richest golden butter in this town. A butter churn blues relapse that should never stop. Everything worth having starts from the top. Gravel road racer eat bubs in the Jaddy's old pickup. With the soup tart under hood, gravel roads in the county. It never sounded so good. Saturday morning with the windows rolled down, racing your brother to the far edge of town. Red dust rising in the rear view blast, every curve will test it who'll go fast. Gravel road racer, bleed flat out and free. Nothing but the county road ahead of me. Gravel road racer, bust behind the wheel. That old pickup gave me everything I feel. Roused the hubcap on the Miller's Bridge curve, became in first without disturbing the nerve. Daddy said you won, but I'm docking your pay. Left a part of the truck somewhere along the way. We laughed about it at the family dinner. Since that rusty hubcap is the county's evidence. Gravel road racer bleeds flat out and free. Nothing but the county road ahead of me. Gravel road racer bust behind the wheel. That old pickup gave me everything I feel. Those roads are paved now, ragged sear, smooth as city street. But I still take the old route when the memories meet. Roll the window down and push the engine hard. Every gravel sound bringing back the yard. Gravel road racer bust behind the wheel. That old pickup gave me everything I feel. Rabbit racery bus behind the wheel. Hey! That old pickup gave me everything I feel. Saturday sale barn full of horse and mule. Every horse trader following the golden rule. Walk the animal, its harvest field, check the hooves and teeth. Everything about the deal is underneath. Old man Pinkett's got a quarter a horse to sell. Watching every bit of a diva scenes, reading them real well. Horse traders handshake, rope the box and rope them in the eye. Every deal made under the open sky. Horse traders handshake, rope the box and roll, walk the animal true. The horse knows more about the man than you. Daddy brought me here at 9 years old, so this is the school where men are told. Watch the man before you watch the horse. Character declares itself in course. A nervous bitter and a shuffled boot tells you more than any claim to boot. Horse traders handshake, rope the box and rook 'em in the eye. Every deal made under the open sky. Horse traders handshake, rope the box and roll, walk the animal true. The horse knows more about the man than you. The sale barn's empty than it used to be. Fewer men who know this old country, but the ones who come still do it by the book. A handshake and a long and honest look. Traders handshake, rope the box and rope 'em in the eye. Every deal made under the open sky. Horse traders handshake, rope the box and roll, walk the animal true. The horse knows more about the man than you. Clock on the wall above the fireplace shelf. 40 tris per inch barrel made by hand itself. My great-great-grandfather carried it west through the Cumberland Gap with all the rest. The wood is tiger maple, abyssic, walnut, patch, and brass. 5 generations touched this thing and passed. Long rifle legacy beers hanging on the wall. Witness to the best of what came before us all. Long rifle legacy reduced, crafted by a hand that understood the timber and the land. Blues ends the action, Daddy took it down once every year or so. Oiled the lock and barrel in the firelight glow. Told the story of the man who carried it through. Said, son, this is the family coming through to you. Never fired it reduced, the never meant to anymore. Just a way of holding history in store. Long rifle legacy reduced, hanging on the wall. Witness to the best of what came before us all. Long rifle legacy reduced, crafted by a hand that understood the timber and the land. When my own children ask me what it means, I tell them it's the thread between the scenes. Every generation holding something dear, passing it along so the story's clear. Long rifle legacy reduced, hanging on the wall. Witness to the best of what came before us all. Long rifle legacy reduced, crafted by a hand that understood the timber and the land. Way down yonder in the bottom by the creek, the pawpaw trees get heavy in the second week. Ugly fruit on the outside refeeds, and the custard gold within. Best thing is the bottom land has ever been. Kids go running when the harvest time is near. Only lasts 2 weeks, so you'd better be here. Pawpaw Patch relieves best secret in the wood, wild and sweet and misunderstood. Pawpaw Patch treasure in the shade. This is what the good Lord's bottom land made. It's a good call, you can't buy a pawpaw in a grocery store. The fruit's too fragile for the shipping floor. Gotta know somebody with a patch to find that kind of knowledge is the rarest kind. My uncle showed me where the biggest trees grew. Said, son, this is between just me and you. Pawpaw Patch relieves best secret in the wood, wild and sweet and misunderstood. Pawpaw Patch treasure in the shade. This is what the good Lord's bottom land made. Some things stay wild and that's exactly right. The pawpaw doesn't answer to the market's might. Grows where it wants and ripens when it will. The bottom's little secret and it fills. Pawpaw Patch relieves best secret in the wood, wild and sweet and misunderstood. Pawpaw Patch treasure in the shade. This is what the good Lord's bottom land made. What? Here before the gray light on April morn, blaze orange vest and patience newly born. Set up in the timber at the old oak stand, a box call in my pocket, red Dulcimer ready in my hand. The woods went quiet, then the gobbler sounded off, way across the hollow on the ridge and croft. Spring turkey call remits her back just right, working all the day, break into the light. Spring turkey call, Robin's patience in the tree. This old mountain talking back to me. Daddy put the box call in my hands at 8. Said, son, the turkey teaches you to wait. I called him twice and let the silence fill. That bird came stepping proud across the hill, strutting, fan, and all that glory on display. Decided I'd just let that gobbler walk away. And spring turkey call, Robin's patience in the tree, working all the day, break into the light. Spring turkey call, Robin's patience in the tree. This old mountain talking back to me. Someone's song about what comes back home. There about the morning in the woods alone. That gobbler in his glory taught me more than anything I'd ever learned before. Spring turkey call, Robin's patience in the tree, working all the day, break into the light. Spring turkey call, Robin's patience in the tree. This old mountain talking back to me. I'm draining fat and wood ash in the pot outside, and Grandma making Lye Soap with her old Grundy outbreak pride. The smell is sharp and strong as any autumn day. Hard work and clean, living is the country way. She pour it in the molds and let it set a week. Hardest working soap you'd ever have to seek. In Lye Soap Saturday, Grandma knows the way, making what you need from what you've got today. Lye Soap Saturday, Grandma, nothing bought in store, always working just as good as before. She learned it from her mother in the depression years. when buying anything was soaked in tears. Said you take the grease and take the ash and away. Patient is the virtue of the fortunate great. The soap she made outlasted any brand. Work and knowledge going hand to hand. Lye Soap Saturday, read grandma knows the way. Making what you need from what you've got today. Lye Soap Saturday, read grandma, nothing bought in store. Always working just as good as before. I keep a bar right beside my kitchen sink. Connect me to the people and the link. And every time I use it I remember her, how she stood that Saturday and stirred. Lye Soap Saturday, read grandma knows the way. Making what you need from what you've got today. Lye Soap Saturday, read grandma, nothing bought in store. Always working just as good as before. Red and white hound dog sleeping on the stoop. 15 years of running with the hunting group. His muzzle's gone gray and the legs ain't what they were, but the ears still catch the possum through the blur. Daddy says he's earned his ribs 100 times. The finest coon dog in these Georgia pines. Old Hound Dog Honor his race, let him rest his bones. Best hunting partner any man has known. Old Hound Dog Honor is great around the face. Every scar story from the chase. Fork's gone at the age of 2, never missed a season. All the way through, lost him once overnight. Out on the ridge, found him the next morning at the bridge. Tail still going, rib pressed for scene, I'm proud of what he done. Said I stayed on that coon till the morning come. Old Hound Dog Honor his race, let him rest his bones. Best hunting partner any man has known. Old Hound Dog Honor is great around the face. Every scar story from the chase. When that old dog goes, he'll leave a hole. The kind of loyal friendship feeds a soul. But for today, he's warm there on the stoop. Still dream about leading every group. Old Hound Dog Honor his race, let him rest his bones. Best hunting partner any man has known. Old Hound Dog Honor is great around the face. Every scar story from the chase. In one room with Miss Laureen in charge. Her knowledge and her patience both were large. Pot-belly stove in the corner, keeping warm. Older kids help younger through the storm. Walk 2 miles of gravel every morning bright. Care but we learn back home at night. One room schoolhouse run teaching the rocks all the grades. Learning made of timber and constant the rocks ablaze. One room schoolhouse, breathe off somebody taught. Some things can't be bought. Can't be bought. The oxen dirty on the chalkboard in a row. Geography from a map rolled out below. Miss Lorraine recited poetry by heart. Said the memorized word is where you start. Friday afternoon she'd read aloud to all. A whole world opened up in that small hall. One room schoolhouse run teaching her rubs all the grades. Hey! Learning made of timber and Crumpston the rubs ablaze. One room schoolhouse, breathe off divided heart. Some things can't be bought. Hey! 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 pop replaced by something grand. But the education left its mark on this land. Every doctor, lawyer, farmer that came through started in that one room, Riverbend that I knew. Hey! One room schoolhouse, one teacher, and the rubs all the grades. Hey! Learning made of timber and crops and the rubs of blades. One room schoolhouse, hey! With observed taught. Hey! Some things can't be bought. Grandpa worked the cotton gin from dark to dark. Said the whole town smelled of it from the smallest spark. White balls rolling on the belt all day. Every family in the county made their pay. The whistle blew at noon and 5 o'clock. The whole town running on that cotton clock. Cotton gin days revive, so everybody working hard. From the farthest field to the nearest yard. Cotton gin days revive, the whole town alive. That's how a farming people learn to thrive. Lesson 12, pound every morning cold. Biscuit, rice, fatback, with each coffee in a hold. He'd walk 1.5 miles through the morning mist. Said that walk was something he'd never missed. The gin shut down when I was barely 10, but Grandpa talked about those days back then. Cotton gin days revive, so everybody working hard. From the farthest field to the nearest yard. Cotton gin days revive, the whole town alive. That's how a farming people learn to thrive. The old gin building's just a shell today. Kudzu climbing up the walls all the way. But the people who remember still walk tall, proud of every bowl they get through fall. Cotton gin days revives, and everybody working hard. From the farthest field to the nearest yard. Cotton gin days revives, the whole town alive. That's how a farming people learn to thrive. Barn and going dark against the amber sky. Smoke curling out the vents as the evening's passing by. The leaves strung on the sticks in golden row. That particular light of August glow. Grandpa walking the perimeter at dusk, checking on the fire and the sweet fully dark musk. Tobacco barn twilight, with bare feet amber in the air. Old Trent's a barrel and the evening prayer. Tobacco barn twilight, regret field days work. Standing tall, summer's greatest testament of all. The New York stifle kept you from the 1st of July. Till every rafter held its leaf up high. Hot and sticky work on the tallest tier. But Grandpa said the curing was what you feared. Too much heat and you'd lose the whole thing fast. The barn was where the patient had to last. Tobacco barn twilight, rib left feet amber in the air. Old winter bear and the evening prayer. Tobacco barn twilight, rib left field days work. Standing tall, summer's greatest testament of all. The old barn stands empty now most every year, but I drive past it when the evening's clear. Watch the last light hit those weathered boards and feel the weight of all those summer chords. Tobacco barn twilight, with left feet amber in the air. Old Drenter bear and the evening prayer. Tobacco barn twilight, with left field days work. Standing tall, summer's greatest testament of all. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. The honky tonk on the edge of Highway 9. The sawdust on the floor since 1899. Neon sign outside's been missing half its glow, but everybody in this county knows to go. The bartender's a Hendrix, Visa the one in a row. Said my granddaddy built this for shuffling slow. Whoa, sawdust floor, shuffling boots, scraping right. Best to Amsterdam venue any Saturday night. Whoa, sawdust floor, shuffling boots, spin your partner around. Best old music in this whole dang town. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now Doobie Lee came in at 8:15. Said she'd only stay a minute, but she always stays late. Her husband Clint don't dance, but he don't mind. Said washing Ruby on that floor is one of a kind. The fiddle player hit a run that raised the roof. Everybody on that sawdust was the proof. Whoa, sawdust floor, shuffling boots, scraping right. Best to Amsterdam venue any Saturday night. Whoa, sawdust floor, shuffling boots, spin your partner around. Best old music in this whole dang town. Some places got the marble and the chandelier, but give me sawdust and a cold long neck beer. The music's in the floor and in the feet, and everything this county needs to meet. Whoa, sawdust floor, shuffling boots, scraping right. Best to Amsterdam venue any Saturday night. Whoa, sawdust floor, shuffling boots, spin your partner around. Best old music in this whole dang town. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa! Hitched up the bay mare on Sunday afternoon. Drove past Claire Johnson's place a little too soon. Her daddy on the porch gave me the eye, and I tipped my hat and kept the mare going by. Second time around, he waved me to the gate. Said Claire, I might enjoy a ride if you can. Wagon Seat Courting, old Holly ride Sunday afternoon, leading into the night. Wagon Seat Courting, steady on the reins. Best romance that the old country contains. Climbed up beside me in her blue dress proud. Said I know 3 roads better than the crowd. We took the long way past the covered bridge, then up the grade toward Patterson's Ridge. Talked about everything and nothing at all. Best conversation leading into fall. Wagon Seat Courting, old Holly ride Sunday afternoon, leading into the night. Wagon Seat Courting, steady on the reins. Best romance that the old country contains. Her daddy asked me what my intentions were. I said, sir, I'd like to keep on calling her. He thought it over lights, found scratched his chin just right. Said have her home before the full moon night. Wagon Seat Courting, steady old Holly ride Sunday afternoon, leading into the night. Wagon Seat Courting, steady on the reins. Best romance that the old country contains. Washer on the back porch humming along, Mama singing with the morning like a song. Sheets and overalls and Sunday dress to pin, clothesline running from the oak tree to the bin. The wind picks up and everything goes flat and full. There's a certain art to how you use the pole. Wash day on the line, rib out sheets against the blue. Clean as cattle living, coming into view. Wash day on the line, rib out sheets, everything pressed dry. Best laundry in the county, under the open sky. Williams the gate, she'd have it all up by the 8 o'clock. The cage before the dew was fully off the dimes. The cage, why no sweet sheets smell nothing like a dryer will. That outdoor sweetness is an original skill. We take a memory for the evening damp, fold them up beside the evening lamp. Wash day on the line, Rip out sheets against the blue, clean as kind of living, coming into view. Wash day on the line, rip out sheets, everything pressed dry. Best laundry in the county, under the open sky.